Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast brought to you by BetMGM. Folks, CP's hurting. I mean, it is as bad. It's as bad as it's ever been. The poor guy is on the struggle bus. Florida got the better of him, and here we are. You know, there are times where you think that someone's gonna pull through, someone's gonna make it, and there are times where they're not, and this might be one of those times. But I am your host, Dan Bowers, coming at you from the Empty Netters podcast, and next to me, Chris Bowers.
As always. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it, dude?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Are you back?
I'm not allowed to move in my seat because I did promise Red I would never move.
That is actually true.
Holy fucking shit.
Gonna give a quick shout out to Michael in the chat. Birthday boy.
Oh,
happy birthday, Michael. Absolutely love to see it. Folks, here we are. Here we are coming at you live this morning. I know we've been going live after the games. OT here on the East Coast got super late. The rip back from Sunrise to the hotel was going to take way too long, and we didn't want to give you guys a half-ass episode too late. We didn't want people on the East Coast to miss it. So here we are, 10 a.m. East Coast time on this. What day is it? Friday? Friday. Yeah, I think it's Friday.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's Friday.
No.
Here we are coming at you live Friday morning, 10:13 a.m., and we are going to be ripping this episode for you in huge thanks to our partner, Snaps, giving us the best hats in the game. CP's wearing it right now. Look at that little chip. Look at that ball marker. It says Ice is ready on it. You can get that customized with anything you want. You can get NHL teams because they got a great deal with the entire NHL. Whatever team you are a fan of, if you're an Oilers fan, if you're a Cats fan, you can get it right on there. Snap one onto the back of a hat you already have or buy a new one. Best golf hat in the game. Here's the thing, folks. It feels like these games are just mind warping us every single time. No matter what is going on, no matter what you think is happening in this series, whatever grasp you think you have, it just keeps going the other way. It's truly remarkable. After game one, everyone went, yep, it's destiny. It's inevitable. It's all Oilers. After game two, people thought, oh my God, Florida stole home ice back. It's all over. And then after game three, people were saying, Cats in 5. Just
no, dude, yeah.
It's toast.
I said people were celebrating the cup.
And then here we are.
Dude,
insane game. We're going to get into it, but I will tell you right now, the vibes right now are Oilers in 6. Like, the vibes right now are, yes.
Oh, my God,
It is over. Like, it is the Oilers year. It is McDry. It is destiny. That is how much this keeps flipping. We were talking about it last episode. How many times has the momentum flipped so heavily where the fans, the media, everything just goes back and forth. And we are now in a place right now where we are watching this series headed back to Edmonton for game 5, tied up 2-2 after a devastating collapse. And it feels like the Oilers are going to never lose again. It really does.
Dan, before we start, can I travel back in time to the beginning of this show?
Yes.
And before we start, I just want to say we are going to insert into this episode an awesome interview with Logan Thompson.
Yep.
And so everybody in the live, you're going to not get it. But when we put this video up, you're going to get it. And it's going to be sick. And we're going to put that Logan Thompson interview on a mid-form. Go subscribe to the YouTube and watch it. Also, we were at a great Bauer hockey event. Huge shout out to Bauer Hockey. We were there on Tuesday. You guys saw in our story. Their Vapor Live event, the Flylight gear is insane. They did such a cool thing. We were in Rockland, Mass, dude. Grinding to Rockland, Mass. But I just want to say, dude, the flight chaos that we went through to get to and from Boston. Everybody asking like, "Oh, dude, how's CP's flights going? Was CP delayed again? Did anything happen?"
Bro, I am telling you, man. I said this last year, and I'll say it again. I fucking hate you. I literally never want to see you again. Every year, like after it all dies down, after everything's finished, I'm always like, dude, just get me away from you. And
dude, can you believe the flight?
Yes, I can.
Can you believe the chaos that we went through?
I can. And dude, I'm telling you, bro, it's genuinely insane how cursed you are. Everything you do, it just goes poorly. And the fact that just shut up. The fact that I have been cursed with you as a business partner and as a brother, it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. My life would be so smooth sailing if you weren't a part of it. It's actually crazy. And you just alluded to it. Here's another example, chat. Chris will tell you everything that happened with our flights, and then we'll get into this game. Very simple thing like this. Our head of production, that's not his title. He's going to get mad at that. Producer Edge had us send a couple of lights so the white balance can be great. Chat, all for you.
Yeah, we got lights.
He sends us lights for our night shoots. It's a package delivered to the hotel. I tell these two clowns, producer Red and CP, hey, there's a package down at the front desk. Can you go get it? All of a sudden, all these texts come through. Oh, package isn't at the front desk. It's not here. Can't find it. Don't know where it is. Don't know what to do. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I go down to the front desk at about an hour later and I go, hey, there was a package delivered, alone, by the way. A package delivered for Dan Powers, should be at the front desk. Literally 2 seconds later, guy goes, yes, of course, sir. Grabs the package. But for some reason, when this idiot fool goes down to get it, he can't find it. There's a whole snafu. Whole ordeal.
25 minutes.
Unbelievable.
25 minutes I wasted.
Tell the people what happened on those flights.
Flight to Boston. We sleep 2 hours. Board a flight to Boston. Get halfway there, dude, from Fort Lauderdale. And he goes, oh, dude, this is actually hilarious. The pilot goes, bing. Attention, everybody. We have 3 computers on this plane, and we took off with one of them failed. And now the second one has failed, and there's weather in Boston, and I'm worried about if the third one fails, I don't want to land with no computer. And I'm like, what, dude? Like, how would he? Why did we take off with a computer failed? Why did the second computer fail? And why do we possibly think the third computer would fail? Dude, like, just go. What are we talking about? But he goes, bing, we are going back to Fort Lauderdale. And I go, that's not possible because I'm already in North Carolina. Let me parachute out of the plane at the very least. Bing, we're going back. And then you will sit in Fort Lauderdale for 2 hours before we fly you to Boston. And then you will be in rush hour traffic. And then you will nearly miss the Bauer Vapor Live event because you were going to drive for 2 hours in an Uber. And I go, okay. So we do all that. Then we go to the event. Then we come back. Or no, then we stay up till 5 a.m. We sleep 2 hours again. And then we drive back to Logan in rush hour traffic again. And then we get on the airplane. And then, bing, we are having a nose issue. Dude, what did he say? He was like the nose of the plane is like
it was like a hydraulics issue. Yeah, in the
he's like the nose is
front landing gear or something.
Bouncing. Bing, we have a nose issue. And he goes, we've had it the whole time. We had a nose issue on the way in. And then they're looking at it. And I'm like, what do you mean they're looking at it, dude? Why weren't you looking at it fucking when you landed? And he goes, we're looking at it. We're going to get it squared away. And then you'll take off and go back to Fort Lauderdale. And we're sitting there. And then he goes, bing. The nose issue is fucked. We have to get off the plane. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And then we get off the plane for 3 hours and then get on a new plane and fly to Fort Lauderdale. And I want to give a quick shout out to that other kid on the plane when we got on the new plane.
Yeah.
And that kid in the front row, remember? He was like, dude, you guys.
Bro, that is the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my entire life. Boarding an airplane.
Well, no, but don't be mean to him. He was the man.
No, he was the man. But boarding an airplane, the kid in the front row of the plane was like this, can I have a picture? And I'm like, dude,
after the whole plane has been binged to death.
When my entire personality, literally my entire personality is built around being efficient when getting onto an airplane.
Dude.
And he was like, can you stop? I was like, dude, this better be the quickest picture of all time.
Yeah,
I've never felt more awkward.
It was a kerfuffle on the plane. That was kind of sick.
It was truly insane.
So huge thanks to Bauer, but what an ordeal.
Yeah, huge thanks to Bauer. Well, that was amazing. Love the Bauer squad. Massive ordeal. And we were able to get back and we're able to get to game 4. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this game. That's why people are here. That is why we are dialed into this episode. We want to talk about the insanity that was game 4 of the Stanley Cup final. Florida up 2-1 in the series. They come into this game after absolutely waxing Edmonton. Kind of an embarrassing display. Kind of an embarrassing display from Edmonton in game 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then we come out very, very quick work by Florida, getting up 3-0 in the first period. Everyone thought it was over.
Okay. So this hockey game, we were on an Oilers show. We're on Tyler's show, talking to a lot of Oilers fans before the game. I had said many times the first period of this game was everything, because if you were the Oilers, you have to punch back. You have to answer, dude. Like, dude, even if the Panthers were up like 1-0, but you had one of those Oilers periods where you're like, we outshot them 15-3, and the Panthers scored a goal, but like whatever. You just had to have that response. And my guy, take a picture.
Keep going.
Take a picture.
Keep going.
Take a picture.
Stop it. Keep going.
Take a picture.
Hey,
take a picture.
You got to pull it together.
Take a picture.
People are trying to watch this episode, and you're being a piece of shit.
It's not my fault.
Keep going.
My guy Stu had to have a good first period because it's game 4 Skinner and it's all the stuff. Before a goal was even scored, Dan, I wrote down 8-1 shots at like the 10-minute mark. Like calamity of the highest order if you're Edmonton. Like you were getting ragdolled before they've scored, dude. 8-1 shots. And if you're the Oilers at that point, you're kind of being like, well, whatever. If we survive this 0-0, if we somehow get out of this period 0-0, we're okay. But it just felt, I was like, yeah, this is not the way to get out of this 0-0. You're dead. Absolute calamity start. And then you take a penalty after being like, after Connor doing interviews, like, I felt we were killing penalties for 22 minutes last game, can't get our good guys on the ice, can't get into our game. You take a penalty, you take another penalty, 5-on-3, and then Matthew Tkachuk scores.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally have a Hollywood writer draw up a worse start to a game that you can't lose. You can't. Disaster.
Man, it was chat is absolutely cooking you right now. You gotta get it together.
No, I can't. I cannot.
Listen,
I cannot get it together.
I don't even know really how to process that game. Truly. You come into that game, if you're Edmonton, you need a huge bounce back. And yes, you take a bunch of penalties in the first period. Also, I thought Stu was playing great in the beginning of that first period. It was honestly a bit of a sewer that he got yanked. And they were, I mean, God, you just said it, Chris. I think it was like shots were like 9-1 at a point. And there were so many chances for Florida. They almost scored so many times. It was still 0-0. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. Like if they break one through here, it feels like this is going to be just toast for Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they get that 5-on-3. Matthew Tkachuk finally scores. And you're like,
Oh,
fuck.
dude.
Still on the power play. Matthew Tkachuk scores again. 2-0, 2 Matthew Tkachuk goals. Just like in game 3, it was like, who hasn't gotten going yet? Sam Reinhart scores that backbreaking, after it got 2-1. Sam Rhino scores.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you're dead. This was like, okay, you need some momentum, Edmonton. And then Matthew Tkachuk scores 2 power play goals. I've never seen anything like it. This game was over. Genuinely over. Hold on. And then Lundell scores. The best line in hockey, the best line in this series. 3-0 with 19-18, I think that goal was scored.
Yeah.
Less than a minute left. 3-0. And it shows such an insane level of resiliency by this Oilers team. But we always get ragged on when we don't give a team credit, when we don't do but there are times, guys, where it's necessary to talk about what is going on in a series when a team collapses. And the facts of the matter are this, in my opinion. 3-0 with a goal in the last minute in the first period when you're on home ice and up 2-1 in the series. The vibes in that arena after the first period were celebrating the Stanley Cup.
Oh, dude.
Like we're in the cold zone.
You're not exaggerating, by the way.
JMO's like Amarant Arena was a party. Like truly, man. Florida Panthers fans running up to us, jumping all over us, being like, oh my God, can you believe it? The Chicklets boys were there. Everyone's running up to them. They're like, you guys doubted us yet again. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not ragging on Cats fans. We love you guys. But it was from the fans. It was a full-on party fest. Oilers are dead. This team sucks compared to us. It's not even close. You idiots in your destiny this, your destiny that. It was a party.
Mm-hmm.
Just peacocking, dancing on Oilers fans' graves. 17-7 shots in the first period. This shit was over. Wouldn't you know it? Second period starts. People aren't even in their seats because they're still out drinking. They're in the concourse. They're at all of the bars and lounges. You blink, it's 3-1. And you part of you is like, oh, that happened game 3 too. It's fine. It's fine. But Nuge gets on the board 3 minutes into the second. And then you pull it together a little bit. Stu's been yanked.
Okay, you're jumping ahead of a lot of stuff here. I got to go back.
Well, I mean, you are a piece of shit, and you're not helping me at all in this episode. So if you want to go back.
I tried to talk a second ago, and you go, hold on. And then you kept going. I've been sitting here patiently waiting.
All right, get in there.
I said this last game. I need a data analysis, a computer science. Stu, I think Stu's actually in the chat. Dude, Stu's in the chat. Stu, never needed you more, dude.
Come on.
I need a data analysis on the high sticking penalties this year.
Oh,
there are so many high sticks, and I want to know how many high sticking penalties specifically have been converted into goals. And this will be impossible to analyze, but I need to know how many stick lifts have stopped a goal because it's not the right balance. Like all the attempts to lift sticks are actually just ending up as high sticks penalties and then a goal against you. So it's a conspiracy theory, Dan. It's got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stop. And the Oilers, dude, the Oilers are still doing that high hedge when the Panthers go to the top there. They send that penalty killer way up high.
Yep.
He's like, push it back down the half wall. And it's leaving Sam Reinhart in the bumper fucking wide open.
Yeah. And
that second goal, he whiffed. Remember, it went back to him and he like whiffed it. And then it kind of like kicked back to Chucky, and then Chucky scored his second. Yep. But I'm like, this is not sustainable if you're Edmonton just giving up 1,000 fucking power play goals. And I know the Oilers fans are being like, well, the calls suck. Like, it's bullshit. We're always on the penalty kill. But I'm like, there are going to be some calls. And you're high sticking people. Like, it's not your fault, or it's not the ref's fault. So that, like, of all the amazing buttons that Knobloch has pushed, the penalty kill has been such a massive problem, and I don't know why they're letting that happen.
Yeah.
And then the third goal, I want to say, holy fuck, that was a dump and change. Like someone kicked that in, and Verhaeghe, God bless him, went in because he was like, I'm the one guy that's got to go.
Yeah.
Can you remember what D-band that was?
No.
But like literally it and nothing forecheck by Verhaeghe. It was like bang turnover, and then Lundell changes, jumps in the play. Whatever you said, 50 seconds left. Unthinkable goal if you're Edmonton. Unthinkable goal.
Like truly, man. It's just I don't understand how there can be so many back-breaking plays in one game for both teams.
Yeah.
When your back breaks, you're supposed to be dead. It's supposed to be over.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it just was going back and forth. I don't get it.
And then, dude, and actually some people are saying, Gabriel's saying it's Stetcher. I think he means that was the Stetcher on that turnover. And yes, I want to say this, dude, because I have two things to, and this was an incredible night for Edmonton and all their fans, but I have two things to say to Oilers fans. One of them is coming right now. Even with the win, because I wrote this note right here, even with the win, you gotta wear this one. So many Oilers fans were like, dude, Stetcher, we're going to put Stetcher in and it's going to change everything.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a puck mover and Skinner's coming in for Arvidsson. Skinner can possess. Wait till you see Stetcher and Skinner.
Yeah.
And again, they won. So now they get to go, we did it. But I'm like, we're sitting here 3-0. I was like, oh yeah. Stetcher has changed the series. And I was like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
So
and someone in the chat just said he had like 4 minutes of ice time.
Yeah.
I think that is
dude, every Oilers fan before the game was like, Brady, oh my God, Stetcher. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, it's like we're in the second period now on your timeline.
Yeah, you may begin the second period.
Stu is yanked.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the poll.
Stu is yanked. And I thought it was aggressive, like 2 power play goals. And then that, in my opinion, meltdown from
yes, that wasn't his fault at all.
And
he made some big saves, like to your point.
He made some huge saves.
Yep.
But dude, I have said it again. I said it on Oilers Nation yesterday. The way that these two coaches adjust, and not a great one from Paul Maurice last night, but the way that these two coaches adjust is remarkable. They're the 2 best coaches in the NHL, in my opinion. You put in fucking Calvin Pickard.
Jean-Luc.
And the fucking guy makes 19 straight fucking saves. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how it gets to this Panthers team so bad. How it gets to the Kings. How it gets to everyone. But this fucking guy comes in and just makes almost 20 straight saves. And it worked. It worked. Like that's the crazy thing is like, if you're Knobloch, you're like, yeah, I mean, I had to make a decision. I made it and it won them the fucking game.
Dan, it completely did.
But the bigger thing for me, going back to the rant I was on about the fans and the vibe in the arena.
Yeah.
That game was one of the bigger fall asleep, you fucking idiots started lifting the cup in your head as well, I have ever seen. And I will never understand how professional athletes, how guys in the NHL, and I'm truly not shitting on anyone. I'm saying I'm trying to process it in my head, how you can fall asleep at the wheel like this against this fucking team, against this Edmonton Oilers team. When you blew a 3-0 series lead last year to this group, how can you do that again on home ice? You're up 3-0 in the first period. In the first period, you think that's enough time to go, yeah, we can stop playing. You outshoot them 17-7 in the first period. You go up 3-0. You effectively rip their fucking souls out of their body. And you go, you know what's a good idea? To fall asleep at the wheel and get outshot 17-10 in the second period. To have their backup goalie in and go, let off the gas. You give up a goal in the first 4 minutes. You give up a goal halfway through to Nurse, and then you let them fucking tie it up, man. Like the second that game was tied 3-3, and it's easy to say this in hindsight, game over. The Oilers won. In the second period, they won when they tied that fucking game up. And it's because I watched, in my opinion, the best team in the NHL with a 2-1 series lead and a 3-0 lead in the game go, let off the gas. Let this Oilers team back into the game. Give them life. What the fuck have we seen happen all playoffs long when you give this Oilers team even the slightest shred of life? What have we seen happen? They fucking kill you. And now here we are, 2-2. Like, we're not even done talking about the game.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
The series is now 2-2, and you're headed back to fucking Edmonton.
The poll, let's go all the way back. The poll, I thought, was insane. Obviously, you just said hindsight. Like, okay, everything worked out. I thought the poll was so insane. We were with Logan at the game, and I was asking him even when it went 2-0, I was like, what would you do? What would it take to pull Stu? And he was like, it would have to be 4 early in the second. If it gets to 4 early, then you pull him.
Yeah.
That's an NHL goalie talking. And the start the period pull was, Dan, I thought we were doing a DeBoer situation again, where I was like, not that Knobloch's getting fired, but I was like, holy shit, Knobloch's going to have to answer for this, where he's like, yeah, sorry. There was no reason at all to pull Stu. It wasn't his fault. It was crazy. And I can't stress this enough. Dude, remember somebody in one of our lives, he's probably in the chat right now, but somebody in one of our lives was like, Calvin Pickard's Jean-Luc Picard is the best backup goalie in the league. And I was like, okay. And he regardless of what you think about that, in game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Jean-Luc Picard cannot be in net. Or your season is utterly and completely over,
dude.
And Chris Knobloch goes, dude, watch this. Jean-Luc Picard to start the second of a game we literally cannot lose. Stunning turn of events. Stunning. And then the Oilers come out and it was already 3-1. The shots were 5-0 to start the second, and it's already 3-1. You want to talk about the first period I said the Oilers can't have? That's a second period the Panthers can't have. They start to kind of pull it back, but then Nurse, bang, short side high. And I think Bob that was a good shot, but I think Bob kind of wants that.
I think that's a terrible goal.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like, it's a good shot, but a short side high from a guy like Nurse, like if you're Bob, you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
And like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, that's how the flow is going here.
And also I want to say this, some people in the chat are saying this, and I heard this a ton last night. What do you think the captain said in the locker room between periods? Connor changed everything. He gave a speech.
Oh God!
In intermission.
Don't like. I can't roll my eyes hard enough at that,
dude. What? I am salivating for the Amazon show that of Connor's yell between periods that changed the whole series.
When you come out, you have a Nuge goal, you have a Nurse goal, and you have a Podkolzin goal. Connor changed the game.
Dude. Mr. Dash 2 in the finals. Mr. Dash 2 and no goals in the finals changed everything in between periods.
Right, don't talk shit about Connor.
He yelled at them. I'm just saying he's going to play better.
No, I'm kidding.
He's going to play better.
I tweeted last night because this has been a big narrative, and this is something I was teasing earlier. I said, make no mistake, the Panthers lost that game, and I love a tweet like that because it's kind of rage baity, but actually couldn't respect more tons of Oilers fans being like, yeah. And we'll take it all day.
Oh, 100%, dude, 100%. Also, chat saying it was Perry. I haven't seen the broadcast yet.
It was Perry.
Perry gave a speech, and I actually love that.
Yeah.
I actually love that Perry was yelling at them.
But again, man, it's like the Oilers didn't come out. They had 17 shots, but like they didn't come out flying. Like I wasn't like, oh man, the Oilers look so much better this period. The Panthers
weren't there.
Looked
They didn't
like
show
a
up.
fucking JV high school.
They didn't show up. Yep.
Truly, it looked like they were fucking drunk celebrating. I bet they cracked a bunch of beers after the first period. That's how they looked like they were playing.
Dude, that's so
there was
funny.
nothing. It's not like the Oilers came shot out of a cannon. It was just the same game, and Florida just stopped playing. But I make that comment to say, again, this is the thing that I can't really get my head around, how you possibly can let up like this and let Edmonton back into the game, because this is what we've seen every single series. It's what we saw in game 3 against LA. You are beating them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just let them claw back. Every time Vegas had a lead, you let them claw back. Dallas, same thing. This Florida team just feels too good and too smart to make these fucking stupid mistakes. And this is how the Oilers keep winning. You win a game like, if you're Edmonton, all series, or excuse me, all playoffs, you win a game like this, and then you never lose again. And that's why I'm like, the chatter right now is Oilers in 6. And man, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. We were literally, people were having conversations, not us, but like people are having conversations about Panthers in 5 yesterday after first period. And now we're talking about Oilers in 6. What other series have we ever seen like this?
Oh, it's such a mental roller
crazy.
coaster. Bob, I want to give Bob a little credit. He made an awesome save. I think it was the Barkov delay game, because it was 3-2 at that point, and then you take a penalty and Barkov's in the box, and you're like, holy shit, it's literally about to be 3-3, which it eventually was. But he made a massive save on that PK where I was like, oh my God, dude, Bob, like that actually could like swing the whole game and keep this series alive if you're the Panthers. And then when it does go 3-3, silent, dude. That is one of the most quiet. I talked about the Perry game tying goal, how loud Rogers was. Dude, that is the most quiet I have ever heard a rink in my life when that went in.
It was soul snatching.
Oh my God, dude, that was insane.
I'll tell you what, man, there was a period where, you know, we compare arenas a lot and vibes.
Yeah.
Oilers fans this is all I have, people. Like that, truly, they're like, the only thing that we care about on earth is the Oilers. We defend Panthers fans all the time. They are, I think they're awesome.
Yep.
And I think that arena is awesome. But that arena is a party. People are there drinking, they're hanging out, they're having a great time. It's a Thursday night. And like we said, you go up 3-0 in the first period. Like people just started fucking ripping. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see. There were times in that game when it was 3-3 and Edmonton has a power play.
Yeah. And
I was looking around being like, are you guys paying
attention? Are you watching like, the game?
You are about to die.
Yeah, you've died already. Dude. You're dead.
And yeah, that third goal, it just feels like I can't believe it. It's like everyone all of a sudden realized like, oh wait, what is going on? And like I said, I was texting a bunch of the friends that we've made here who are Florida fans, and you know, all of our hockey buddies, and I was like, game over, and I don't give a shit what happens.
Yep.
And there was a part of me eating crow when Rhino tied it, you know, but I was like, dude, we just saw the Oilers do this in game 2, and you know, Florida ended up winning in OT, so don't get cocky, people. But I do want to talk about Wallman's goal.
Okay. Yep.
Game gets tied 3-3, absolute dagger. Like Florida is reeling.
Yeah.
And now we're in the third period, and dude, all game after the first period, Florida is just doing the cheekiest shit I've ever seen. Just some of these plays where it's like they've got all the time in the world, puck behind the net, possession in their own zone. And they're doing these weird, like, I'm not saying glassing out, but do the smart play. And instead they're going like little cheeky between the legs pass in front of the net for a breakout. Florida gets possession behind the net, or not behind the net, in the corner with a little bit of time. And I was like, okay, like, here you go, guys. Like, try to settle yourselves down. And there's just one of the worst plays you'll ever see. I'm not going to bring up the players, but like,
was it Barkov? I think Barkov did. And someone in the chat, like, I think Barkov turned that over. Yeah.
Really shitty puck possession.
Yeah.
and then a bad attempted pass up the wall, immediate turnover, immediate pass over to Wallman, bottle squirting Wallman, clap bomb pass Bob. Oilers take the lead. And those are the ones where like every bit of momentum, right? Every bit of shit talk that you had under your belt,
dude. Yes.
After the Oilers lose their composure in game 3, they tried to get into a fist fight and they got fucking slapped in the mouth. Wallman looks like a clown. He looks like a loser. And now all those photos of Wallman fucking laughing at Nosek are back. Like a Wallman completely redeems yourself.
Yeah,
and he did.
He did, dude.
And it's just like, oh my God, that game could not have gone worse for Florida. And yes, you tie it, but like, dude, blowing that lead, you're up 3-1 in the series. And then you blow this lead. Wallman scores. You lose in OT to a Draisaitl goal again. Stu Skinner undefeated in game fours in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Still.
So funny.
Calvin Pickard makes 22 saves, 19 straight, 7-0. Calvin Pickard in these Stanley Cup playoffs.
Colin Smythe.
7-0.
Colin Smythe. Dude, somebody was
like that game was a disaster for Florida.
Okay, so I did want to just give a shout out with like a minute.
I'm shouting out my boy Dave in the chat again. He goes, I'm going to need CP to have better posture. And I agree. Like looking at the YouTube right now, I don't know how you're sitting. Like you're sitting on the small of your back.
How about this? How about now?
How about
now, Dave? Ekholm, there was a minute left in the second, and Kachuk one squirted to him backdoor.
Yeah.
Literally nude net. Because Jean-Luc is like he's an angles man.
Yeah.
He pushes out so hard. If you backdoor Jean-Luc, it's literally there's no one in the goal. And Chucky, wide open net, and Ekholm blocked it. There were two guys there, but it hit Ekholm's skate. And I was like, man, if that goes in and you go to the room 4-3 Panthers, they go, wow, what a fucking melt job by us, but it doesn't matter. We're winning. That block was monumental. So I want to shout that out. Also, so many people were laughing about they were like Pickard, Jean-Luc Picard, like somebody made a Conn Smythe joke where we were at, and people were like, he could never win Conn Smythe. And I was like, dude, he is undefeated.
He might
literally give him Conn Smythe. I don't understand. Like he's undefeated. And who do you want to give it to? Connor? Connor hasn't done shit in the final. It's a full playoff award. But I'm like, give it to Jean-Luc, dude. He's undefeated.
Here's the
crazy
thing. Like truly, here's the crazy thing for me. That game, like Connor's not been great, and you're still there. You're still winning.
Yeah.
And I hate being like the destiny guy. I really hate that shit. But every time the Oilers keep winning like this, I'm like, they are. Like it is, guys. You can hate on it all you want, but you look at there's a video online right now of them winning and Connor's on the bench. He looks relieved. Like he doesn't even get up and celebrate. Like you can see the breath. He's like, oh my God, like well, that's a huge win. Like he was scared.
Oh yeah.
And that like this is the team, dude. This team's picking him up. It's
yes, God,
like
yes,
genuinely, they're picking him up. They're getting it done. And what's nuts about Picard, man, is I hate how you
Jean-Luc.
What's nuts about him is that Sam Bennett 1T in overtime.
What a save.
Dude, what a save. And I know it's positioning. Like I'm sure LT or like Sway would tell me to shut the fuck up right now. Pickard has no clue where that shot is.
Oh, yeah, no, like, he's just getting over. He's just getting over. Yeah.
No idea. And like that puck just hits his glove, then hits the crossbar.
Sam Bennett elevates by a half inch.
But aren't those plays in OT, man? The second that one hit the crossbar, I was just like this. Yeah, you're losing.
Dude, a lot of people, we all thought that went in. Like a lot of people we were with was like that.
Nazem Kadri was with us.
Yeah.
In our
like, that was back bar,
and he was like that hit back bar, and I was just like, I don't think so, man. And it was because it hit the glove that made it look weird. But
well, so I want to say, just about that second period in general, it's really weird to me, Dan, that you can't, and we've seen this all playoffs, that you can't. You can't fix something or make an adjustment in a period. Yeah. If you can do it at intermission, we've seen the Panthers or the Oilers have a bad period and come out and with the speech or whatever happens and you fix it. But when a period starts going one way, I haven't seen a team be able to pull that back till the break.
I know.
So as the second period started to slip away, it was just quicksand for the Panthers. But I give them credit because to start the third, they really did come back hard. Like to start the third, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, this is like a classic Panthers. We got murdered in the first period of game one, and then we figured it out.
Yeah.
But that was the worst period. The second period last night was the worst period the Panthers have played since the third period of game one, where I was like, I was really like, holy shit, what are you doing? In fact, that's actually the only two periods in my mind, the whole series, that the Panthers have looked like the worst team. Third period, game one, second period, second period, game four. And they 100% were drunk on I think the cup was being engraved. Like, I think somebody has to go fix the cup now because they started putting the Panthers' names in it. And the Panthers were sitting there watching it happen between periods.
Yeah.
And in my mind, Paul Maurice went, hey, idiots. The series isn't over to start the third. But this is where you pay the price of playing this Oilers team who are so good. Because the third period, you're not good enough to just go, we'll just win now. Because I'm like, the Oilers are nasty, dude. You think you can just beat the Oilers when you feel like it? I think you're probably better than them, but you can't just beat them when you feel like it. They're fucking gross. And the third period was exactly that, where they go, I think we're playing slightly better than not than the second period. You're playing way better than the second period. I think you're playing slightly better than the Oilers. Bang, Jake Wallman goal in the back of your net. Now you're going to lose. Very cool comeback. It's crazy that we've seen two epic.
Very cool.
It was nuts. I was filming that just like I was filming in game 2, just to like get the end of the game. Like, I was like, this game's over.
Sorry. I very cool comeback for Florida. I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
No, like very cool. Comeback.
People went nuts, man. People went nuts, and that was awesome.
So that was sick. And kind of wild that we've seen you said this, but the two teams that had last second comebacks, which almost always ends as a win.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hell yeah, both lost.
Yeah.
Which is what a narrative.
Again, it's always so funny, like going the hindsight of a narrative. It's like I look at that and I'm like, I thought. I was like, you're going to lose still. Because
you did. Yeah. I didn't know. It just felt because Bob made a huge save on Draisaitl with like 3 minutes left to keep it a 1-goal game. And then you get the, who scored that last one? Rhino?
Yes.
Then you get the Rhino goal. And I was like, okay, maybe this is something. I teased that I had a second thing I wanted to say to Oilers fans. I want to say it right now. This was, I saw a lot of Oilers fans after. Most of them admitted it, but I saw a lot of Oilers fans after who were like, dude, like, we're having blah, blah. Every Oilers fan on earth, including McDavid's wife, knew that they had lost after the first period. Nobody was like this. A lot of hockey left. Trust us. We can come back. I'm serious. Not a single one of them.
Dude, I think Oilers, I mean, like a lot of the Oilers fans that we have met and have become friends with were texting us after the first period and they were like, Jesus, man, like we weren't even close to this series. I got a text that said we weren't even close to the series.
Correct.
And here we are.
And now you've won the cup. But I need Oilers fans, and it doesn't change. You get to still celebrate your parade, and that's awesome. But I need them to know deep in their hearts that they completely gave up. And any single fan that tells you that they thought they were coming back in that game and the series is a fucking liar, dude. It is full of shit. And it doesn't matter. The cup's the cup, and you get to win it. But that killed me, dude, laughing with all them when they were like, you can't doubt this team. And I was like, well, you can because you did. And we all knew that this game was over.
And no one's blaming them.
Yeah, like, no, dude, of course not. Of course not.
I'm telling you. So, here's some more stats for you guys. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, teams are 37-0 when leading 3-0 after the first period. Now 37-1.
Yep.
Like, how many times with this Oilers team
Yep.
have we seen stats like that make no sense get broken?
Paul Maurice, 31-0 with a lead after the period.
Yeah.
31-2 now.
Yeah.
2 losses in the last 4 games.
It's like they just continue to snatch these wins out of nowhere that make no sense. And that's I suppose why I'm losing my mind. And you know, if I were a Panthers fan, I would be pretty freaked out right now because those stats don't make sense. And they certainly don't make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I'm a Panthers fan and I know this team and I know this coach and this group, and you said on home ice after a 17-7 shot performance in the first period, you were up 3-0 and you lost. Like if I called someone and went and they missed the game and I go, dude, after the first period, this happened. And then you lost. You would go, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did they let that happen?
Yep.
That is why I'm like, I'd be freaking out. It's this Oilers team. I've been doing exactly this, just like stuttering over my words since round 1, because they're so difficult to understand. And so many people go, you can't count out Connor and Leon. And I know Leon scored the overtime winner, but guys, that was an own goal.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, get pucks to the net, but let's not act like it was that beautiful power play goal that Connor and Leon scored. Like, that was a lucky bounce. The fact that they're winning these games and it wasn't even Connor and Leon picking them up, like, that's why they're so confusing.
That's why they're going to win, dude.
And I don't get it. I do not get it in the slightest. And the reason I'm giving Florida a bit of a hard time is, like I said, they lost this game. Like, you guys let this happen. The Oilers didn't beat you in this game. Like, you let this collapse happen. And I don't get how this group and that coach on home ice lets that happen.
And
like this is the craziest series I've ever
watched. Agree, Dan. Agree.
And that game might have been the craziest fucking hockey game I've ever seen in my life. Not because like, oh, the action, the this, the that, the just literally the ability to let what just transpired go down is something that my brain can't compute. It's the craziest game I've ever seen.
And so many people being like, dude, well, you know, people keep forgetting the Oilers. This is what the Oilers do. After a big loss, they just come back and win. They always win. And again, the history will show you're right. You did win. But this was after a big loss, you got murdered again. Exactly.
Like that's I will fight back on you, chat. Like, they didn't win. The Oilers didn't win this game. Like the Panthers lost this game. And it's not like it was guys, they were up 3-0.
LT said to us, he was like, dude, this is the most Oilers game I've ever seen, because if you get up on them, you go to sleep, and then they just don't quit. And dude, so much credit to them, because they don't quit.
Yes.
Like, they could have rolled. We keep being like, the Panthers fell asleep in between periods. True. But the Oilers could have 100% rolled over.
They could have gone, we're dead.
Belly,
and they just kept battling.
And they said, get the next one,
Mm-hmm.
get the next one, get the next one. And they're like, God, dude. So, and it's not even your guys. It's not like Connor came out and went insane. Oh, I did want to say Connor, there was a save in overtime where Connor went like,
danced through everybody.
Yeah, and this was like, this was the
highlight.
highlight goal. Holy shit. And there was a save there. That's the only time I actually did think the Panthers were going to still win, because I was like, oh shit. That felt like it. That was the YouTube moment. And that was insane. I also want to say, Stu said, and a lot of people in the chat are obviously making fun of my posture right now because I'm in shambles. But Stu goes, imagine being a professional athlete and having your performance criticized by someone looking like this. And to that, I would say, I dare any one of those athletes last night to do what I did to myself last night and then be awake right now talking.
They might not be able to.
Might not.
They might not be able to.
I fucking dare anyone on the Oilers to do what I did to myself last night and be not in a hospital. And here I am, dude.
Oh,
Here
God.
I am making fucking plays. Dude.
You are. I need one of these teams to win this series so badly, so I can get away from this
fuming.
kid.
Okay.
My God.
Few things for me.
Yeah.
Well, big picture. I do think if you are a Panthers player, certainly, or a fan, I still think they're doing this. Bro, we went to OT twice in Edmonton, should have beat them twice. The one we lost, we blew a 3-1 lead. And then this game we lost, we should have beat them 20-0, and we choked on ourselves. It's Panthers in 6 easily because it should have been a sweep. We literally should have swept them. I still think that's the rationalization spin zone if you're in the Florida camp. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I can see where the confidence is coming from still, because if you look at the facts, that's kind of how the series has gone.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, this is. I don't ever want to not give Edmonton credit.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
I really like what you said of they kept chipping away. I mean, the fortitude of that Oilers team to be down in the series, down 3-0 after the first period, and go, don't quit, dude.
Yes.
Keep playing. That is where they deserve all the credit in the goddamn world. It's really, really remarkable with that much pressure in the Stanley Cup final, back-to-back years, to be able to battle like that when you're away too. You're on the road.
My God, dude. Totally.
Like the team, like I said, picking each other up. Goals from Nuge with an injured wrist. Goals from Nurse. I think his what was that? Nurse is like 4th of the playoffs, 2nd of the playoffs, because it was Podkolzin's 2nd of the playoffs. And I'm like, man, like these guys are. There's no quit. They are picking each other up. And 3rd of the playoffs for Nurse. And yeah, 2nd for Pod. 2nd for Wallman. Like guys who haven't been scoring, picking you up, getting you that win. That was remarkable. But I stand by everything I said. It was also remarkable for Florida to go to sleep. And I don't know how teams keep making these mistakes against them. But it was the most Oilers win ever. And I am yet again sitting here going, momentum clearly means nothing in this series.
Yes. Oh my God, dude. And I've been such an advocate of that not being true. I'm like, there is momentum. What the fuck? And everybody's like, oh, it's all zero. Start the game. And I'm like, no, it isn't. It completely matters game to game. Wrong. Like this series is fucked.
Momentum clearly means nothing. And where it felt like Florida had all of it, they just lost a brutal game. And yeah, it's 2-2 now. You're going back. And I know you got mad at me for talking about the ice, Chris, but like.
Dude, people got mad at you for that.
Did they?
Well, just in the comments. It was like,
the
ice.
But you're going back home. You're going back home if you're the Oilers.
Yep.
And I just think you've got to feel good.
Dude, you feel great if you're Edmonton.
Oh my God.
Take best of 3 with 2 at home.
Yeah, like take the momentum away. But like, yeah, you're best of 3 now with 2 at home, and you just broke their back, and it's nuts. At the end of the day, Edmonton responded. You got your back broken in game 3, and you responded in 1.
Just like they all said they would.
Florida, you just got your back broken. Will you respond?
Fair. Good take, Dan. Good take.
Will you respond? Because this was backbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Florida, you were cup celebrating. You were planning the parade, and you just got your back broken. Now let's see how you respond. And I don't know. It's like how can we call it? How could anyone predict these games? If you say you have, I think you're lying. My question for you is, if you're the Oilers, who do you start in this game?
So this was a big one. Yeah.
There was a period for me, certainly, where when Stu got yanked and it was 3-0 still, like start of the second, 3-0 still, I was going, you have to start Stu in game 5.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
But now Pickard is 7-0 and he just made that many saves. 19 straight to straight up keep you in that game, makes that huge save on Bennett in OT. Like, I actually think that you have to start Pickard.
It's not even a question, Dan. I'm dead serious. And I just want to give one guy in the chat a shout out, or person in the chat a shout out. Don't know if it's a guy, CG. He says, harping on McDavid all podcast, top 5 player Barkov through 4 games, -3, 2 power play assists, overcommitted on the game 1 OT winner, walked by McDavid on that power play assist, massive giveaway for the Wallman.
Oh, don't worry.
CG?
Don't worry. It's in my notes. We're getting to it.
Completely agree.
Yep.
Barkov has been nowhere near good enough. I want to say,
I would say he's been bad.
and I want to say, I don't know. I'd like to look up his plus minus last year. It's not like, I think we would all agree Barkov was good against McDavid last year, and McDavid had back-to-back 4-point nights. McDavid went off in the playoffs last year. You can still be good when you're just eating 5-on-5 minutes against McDavid all the time, but Barkov has been not the player that you need to win this series.
Yeah.
That being said, you should have already won this series if you're Florida, even with this Barkov performance, but you're not, and he's not doing it.
Yeah.
So, CG, you're 100% right. I didn't mean to say McDavid hasn't been living up to standards and Barkov is.
Yeah.
Neither of them are doing it.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things where Connor's stats aren't that great. And when you look at the player that Barkov is, you have to chalk that up to a lot of good stuff from Barkov, right?
Yep.
You're like, yeah, well, that's probably why. It's because Barkov is neutralizing him a bit. But yeah, part of the, maybe you say too, like, well, maybe Connor's doing that to Barkov.
Yeah.
Think about it like that too.
Fair. I like that, Dan.
But yeah, he has not been nearly as offensive as he needs to be.
And
it's tough, right? Like, people are like, he's Selke winner. Like, that's not what you need him to do. But I'm like, yeah,
it is, dude.
You do need it. Like, he is your first line center.
A couple times.
Yeah.
So to get back to the goalie, it's not even, and I'm sad, dude, for Stu. I love Stu Skinner.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most fascinating players in the league. And I feel bad because it was a cool narrative that he's like, oh my God, I get pulled and I kind of reset. Obviously, he does all the mental health stuff and the sports psychology stuff. He resets and then he's like, boom, I'm dialed.
Yeah.
There's no, you don't get to reset after this.
Yeah.
And again, I don't even think it was his fault, but you're done. You're done for the playoffs. Jean-Luc Picard is starting game 5, game 6, and game 7. I don't even think, actually, I'll pose this to you. What could happen in game 5 that Stu Skinner starts in game 6?
A game like game 3.
Is that really though?
Yeah, I would.
If the Oilers lose 6-1 in game 5, you start Stu in game 6 in Florida.
Yeah.
After he gave up 9 goals in 4 periods.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean, really? Like,
I just don't think you can go back.
If your backup loses 6-1, yes, I would go back to my starter. And also, I would look at what happens after Stu gets a rest. He gets shut out.
Yeah. True.
So yeah, like, what are they fucking talking about? I think it's not even a question if that happens.
6-1. That's your line.
No, I think giving up more, losing by 3 or more goals. Yes, you go back to Stu.
3 or more. Well, the note I wrote was this Edmonton goalie situation will be studied forever. I literally cannot believe what we're watching.
It will literally, dude, it will break every model of understanding. It will break every model of understanding in NHL history. Truly.
I am a person.
If this team somehow wins a Stanley Cup with this goaltending
two
performance,
worst goalies that have ever been in the playoffs.
It will truly be studied forever. Like we talk about all the time, you need a blue chip to win a Stanley Cup. There's in the last 10 plus years, there are only a couple of examples of like, oh yeah, that team kind of figured it out without a great goalie. This one is going to break every stat and under a piece of understanding we've ever seen. And again, the crazy thing is we're not getting last year Connor performance of like 45, 42 points in the playoffs. It's like, I'm telling you, man, the double, the two-sided coin of that game of I will never understand how that Florida Panthers group just let that happen. And I will never be able to give enough credit to the Oilers team. And again, not McDry for picking them up and going, don't quit. Like we have lost the Stanley Cup, but don't quit. And they just battled back. And not only did they battle back in one period. Like it took them one period to get back in that game away.
Yes.
Like it is.
Yes.
I've genuinely, I've never seen a hockey game like it, because it's crazy when you see a team, because Florida they got 10 shots in that second period.
Yeah.
But were they great shots? Pickard made 19 straight saves. Were they great saves? I can
remember a few great ones, but not all of them.
I don't think.
I wrote in the second period a note: the choosing to not shoot on Calvin Pickard, it was a choice.
So I don't think there's any, and chat, if there are some Panthers fans in the chat, please chime in. I don't think that they can go, dude, like second, third period, we still played great. Like I thought you played poorly. I thought you played very poorly. And that is what I'm like, how do you do this? How do you let that happen? So it's not like, they went up 3-0, but then it was just a slugfest. Like the Oilers got back in the game and Pickard was standing on his head. He was making insane saves. Like the Panthers were all over them. And then the Oilers just like chipped away.
Yep.
That is where I'm like, that's why the game is so confusing to me, because Oilers deserve all the credit in the world for still playing, for getting goals past Bob. But it was just like the sloppy turnovers that led to the Wallman goal. It was the sloppy turnovers that led to the 3 before that. It was just bad hockey from Florida. And that's why I can't believe that they let that happen.
You're right. Everything you're saying is right. And to pile on, they kind of wasted Kachuk's going now. Like there were a few things where you're like,
Definitely wasted that.
Oh my God. Now it's the Oilers' worst nightmare. These are games that you now lost. That's insane. Somebody said I was trying to flag a couple things in the chat, but they're buzzing right now. A couple people said, it's like the raw, Pamela, like the entire team is playing with Connor. That's the difference. And I do think, man, to have your backup goalie in and get a nurse goal, a pod goal, that and a Wallman goal to take the lead, like that's what's doing it for you, is inspiring. If you're Edmonton, absolutely inspiring. What an incredible like full team effort. The goalie thing that you were talking about, to have these guys, I am actually a pretty big advocate of, you don't truly need that AA plus blue chip guy. And I know I don't have a lot of data to back me up. Everyone always points to Kemper, Colorado. Mm-hmm. That's like the only one recently. But I am
so annoying. He's literally a Vezina finalist.
I know.
Last year.
But even fair. So it's like it's even worse for me.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, I just still don't buy it. I think a guy can get hot. I think you can figure it out. Even with my stance that you don't need a guy, it is unimaginable to win the Stanley Cup with 2 goals. You have a tandem and both stink.
Yeah.
And your megastars aren't really doing it. And which I know is so crazy to say, because they're leading the playoffs in points. So it's not like they're not playing well.
They're not doing it the way they normally do it. But that's,
well, you'd think if we're going to win with Jean-Luc and Stu giving up 1,000 goals a game, it's because Connor and Leon are outscoring them. And I'm like, they're actually not.
Yeah.
It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, dude. I'm serious.
It goes into what I said on Morning Cup of Hockey yesterday. I'm sick of, and I don't know how many times I need to say it. Draisaitl is my favorite forward in the league. Mm-hmm. I love this guy. But I'm over it. I'm over everyone talking about these two.
Yeah.
It's the team.
It's the team. Dude, the team.
It is the team. Like the books will be written about this Oilers team, about this playoff run.
It's amazing.
If and when this Edmonton team wins the Stanley Cup, the team deserves documentaries made about them.
Yeah, dude. No joke. No joke.
This group deserves documentaries made about them. I'm telling you, the clip that I just saw of the relief on Connor McDavid's face on the bench when they won in overtime will be will be the headline of documentaries.
Yep.
And that's not a knock on McDavid. It's the relief that I don't believe he's been allowed to feel often enough in his career of going, holy shit, the boys
picked it up.
The boys just saved us in that game.
Yep.
Like that I think is a feeling that Connor McDavid has not been able to feel many times in his career.
Yeah, true.
Here we are in the Stanley Cup back-to-back years where he's just been balling out his whole goddamn life. He balled out last year, leading the playoffs in points. And this is a game where he was like, I'm not going. Barkov's all over me. Lundell's all over me. And I'm not going. And Nuge gets a goal.
Yeah.
And like Nuge.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt as hell.
Like the bust, the guy, like, what is Nuge done?
14 years.
Nuge goes, hey, wake the fuck up. We're still in it. Nurse gets a goal. Who are the two people that I called out on Morning Cup of Hockey yesterday? I was like, what about Nuge, dude? What about Nurse? They get goals. And they look at Connor and go, hey, come on, we're in this.
We got you. Yep.
Pod, your fourth liner gets a goal. Wallman, your deadline pickup gets a goal. Like this team is just never quitting, and they are consistently going, oh, are we out of it? No. These guys, the depth, the randomness of the team, they are keeping them alive. They are making them stay in the fight. And I'm like, holy fuck, man. Like that is the headline. That is the narrative of when this team wins a Stanley Cup, of how they did it. It's this. And like that clip, I can't get over that clip because I'll just say it again. It's a look on Connor's face that I've not seen often. And I bet right now he is in Edmonton and he's like, fuck yeah, man. Like these guys are keeping us alive. Yep. Like it's not just me. And I don't think he's ever felt it's just me because he's such a
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But like, he's like, it's not just me and Leon. Like we're all doing it. We're all pulling the sled in the right direction. That must be a feeling that is so invigorating for him.
You go like this. You go, we can do it. Yeah. He truly believes, because he's right. This team can do it because it's coming from everywhere and every line and every corner of the roster. Somebody said, I think it was Ginny. Somebody said in the chat, I can't believe how high scoring the series has been.
Yeah, me too.
Totally agree.
What a fucking idiot I am. I was like, I'm all over the under. There's literally 9
Dude,
goals
I said
in the game.
I was like, I'm due for an under too. Totally agree. And I'll say this again, man. And this is probably harsh, but you can't give up 5 goals a fucking game if you're Bob.
Oh, it's bad.
Bob's been so good. He's made some really great saves. The Oilers have scored 4+ in 3 of the 4 games.
Yeah. No, it's bad. It's
like
really bad.
You cannot lose the goalie battle, dude. How many fucking series in a row can I say this? And it's like, at least when Dallas is losing the goalie battle, which is unacceptable, and it got Pete DeBoer fired because he was so rattled about it. At least when Dallas is losing the goalie battle, it's because Stu is playing sick. Yeah. And you go, Otter, you have to be better than Stu Skinner, but you're just not right now, and I don't know what to tell you. When Aiden Hill is losing the goalie battle, Jean-Luc Picard is playing sick, and I'm like, okay, fucking Christ. Bob losing the goalie battle is a death sentence if you're Florida, and the Oilers goalies are playing horribly. It's not even like they're playing great. And I'm like, damn, Bob, you got outplayed. Because that's sports, right? Yeah. Bob's the better goalie than Stu or Jean-Luc, but they could outplay him. That's sports. Stu and Jean-Luc are, I mean, I don't want to dog Jean-Luc. He hasn't even been in yet. And he actually played good. So, but Stu, my guy, has been brutal. And Bob gives up just as many goals. Like, I swear, man, we are going to talk about this at the end. People are going to go, but the Panthers lost for a lot of reasons, but one of them is because Bob got lit up all series.
It's maybe not being talked enough about, CP.
I agree.
Because, I mean, let's talk about this. Game 3 was big, right? It was good for Bob. And the thing that sucks is 2 OT games in one. I mean, the fact, by the way, we haven't even said this. 3 of 4 games.
Crazy,
have gone to
dude.
OT in this
So
series.
crazy.
Like, I feel like we're forgetting that. But games 1 and 2, he gives up many goals, yes. But he made like 40 saves.
I know.
You know, like, it's just like he's getting peppered in games 1 and 2. And I'm like, yeah, but it's to me, it's more on the D. I'm like,
Sure.
when Bob's making 40 plus saves in games 1 and 2 and giving up what was it, 4 and then 3 goals? What the fuck would the score of those games?
I think 4-3, 4-3. No, 4-3, then 5-4.
Oh, so we've got 2 5-4 games.
Yeah, 2 5-4 OTs.
Yeah, you're right. Jesus Christ. No.
Yep.
Look that up.
No, buddy. I don't even have to. Pal.
Well, either way, I'm pretty sure Bob had like 38 or 40 plus saves in both games 1 and 2. And if you're him, I think you're a little bit like, dude, you guys, you got to give me a little bit of a break here if you're going to be dogging me. Yeah, 5-4. Jesus Christ.
So I hear you, dude. Like, his save percentage isn't horrible, but I'm telling you, dude. And people saying like, I don't think it's on Bob. I don't think it's on Bob.
Hold on. Yeah, it's not on Bob. But yeah, you give up 4, 4, 1, 5. That's Sergei Bobrovsky. Like, people being like, that's your Conn Smythe. Like, that's not good. That is very not good. And now my point is, you're going back to Edmonton. You think you're giving up 1 goal at Rogers Place,
dude? Like,
he's going to give up 3 goals on Saturday.
I guarantee it. Dude.
Like, he's going to give up 3 goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I'm looking at Florida and I'm like this. You better be prepared to win 5-4 in Edmonton, dude.
Which is a big task. Like, you literally have to go.
Like, good
which is
God.
so funny, Dan, because I'm going like this. You got to score 4 goals if you're going to win. And they have their AHL backup in. And I'm like, but somehow it feels impossible. Like, literally, I'm like, you have Jean-Luc Picard in a fucking pivotal game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And I'm like, you can't score on him. You can't score on him, and you're going to lose because Bob is going to give up 1 million goals. Like, what twilight zone are we living in? But that's what the Oilers did this year, dude. The Oilers, this is Twilight Zone. The Oilers have created Twilight Zone, and they are living in it. We are all living in it now. And that's what's happening. That's where we're at.
It's this series. This is the drunkest, most nonsensical series I've ever watched. It's when we're staring down the barrel of going, yep, we're about to head into game 5 in Edmonton. Bob is giving up 4 goals a game. Stu Skinner's been benched, and Calvin Pickard is 7-0 in the playoffs. He's literally their MVP. Connor didn't score a single goal in that game. You've got
Connor hasn't scored yet.
You've got Colson, Nurse, and Wallman picking up the ball. Like, nothing makes sense. And as a neutral fan, it's exhausting. It's amazing. It is. I'll admit, it is exhausting. Like, I am sitting here like, good God, like, I can't take much more of this. And yeah, I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't have a clue how to predict. And you know what? No one does. There is not a single person like you. There are people who get mad at us. By the way, I love shouting this out because every now and then fans get drunk, they get mad, and they'll come at us online and they'll say mean things and this and that. We get a DM this morning. So some Oilers fans who are like, you fucking guys, like, you love Florida too much. And we get a DM this morning from a guy that says, grow some balls. You guys are pussies.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your dopey Canadian heads on a swivel. You total cock-chugging pussies. It's real. What's real? Also, cock-chugging,
dude, what's real?
Is maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So, Brian Miller.
How are you? Come over.
Thank you for that one.
Let's have a beer, Brian.
Cock chugging is like genuinely the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Canadian.
But we're not Canadian. I don't chug cock. And I assume that's a Florida fan being like, you guys are Edmonton fans.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Stu goes, oh good, you got my message.
So like, we can't win. But the point I'm trying to make is, every now and then, like people will get mad at us if they don't agree with the take, and they're like, "Who are you two losers? You didn't even play in the NHL. You're a couple of morons." And I'm like,
I never said that wasn't true. I never once said that wasn't true.
Never once. The larger point is, I dare anybody to look at Wayne Gretzky, to look at Kevin Bieksa, to look at Jason Demers, like our buddies who played in the NHL, who are great minds for this game, and see anyone who's predicted anything in this series. You will not find one. You will not find a single person. This has been one of the craziest series I've ever witnessed, and it's absolutely breaking my brain. My brain is broken.
Yes, it is. I had said I picked Oilers in 5. Obviously, that was wrong.
Yeah.
But everybody was talking yesterday. If you could repick, what is it? And we were all kind of like, sure, feels like Panthers in 6.
Yeah.
Just the way it's going. I said it'd probably be a tight one last night, but if it was going to be a blowout, it would be Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't see the Oilers ever blowing out this Panthers team.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, to the start of the game, I was like, I was pretty accurate. Like the Panthers are going to blow them out, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then even as it got close, I was like, I'm still right. I said it was going to be a tight one. And I'm going to get killed for this if I'm wrong, but I'm fine. I don't care anymore, Dan. I just don't care anymore. This series, I cannot possibly do. You know how Doctor Strange goes like this?
Yeah.
I saw 14 million universes. I cannot see, or maybe this, dude, to save myself.
Someone just said Dale has predicted this perfectly. There's no way Memes has predicted this perfectly. What are you talking
Call
about?
Memes right
I was
now.
with Memes last night.
Call Memes. Oh no, actually, who said that? Caden. Memes does have the games dead ass, but he said But Caden, you got to own this. He said Panthers blowout win game 3, Oilers blowout win game 4.
Yeah.
And they didn't blow them out. But he does have the games dead ass. So.
Yeah, but so do I.
So does Osh. Osh texted us.
But for the record, so do I. I have said it's going to go you win, I win, you win, I. Like it's. I said it was going to be a split.
Yep.
Like so, if that's the case, sure. But give me credit too, Caden.
Yep. Doctor Strange. Blah, 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 a million.
Caden just says 100%. He has again wrong because
Well,
he said
has,
blowout.
he has.
No,
Well,
we can't say 100%.
Yeah.
If we're saying games, then I got the games right too.
98%. I've seen 14 million universes, Dan. The Panthers still win this series in one of them. That's what just happened last night. The Oilers, all the lore, all the bullshit we were talking about, what had gone away because it was like, oh shit, the Oilers threw a fit and it's broken and whatever. The Panthers are inevitable.
Yeah.
They're so good. The Panthers are that good. Like that's what I've actually learned. That's what's fucking crazy. The Panthers are that good. They actually are the better team. They should go back to back. But the fact that you are significantly better than the Oilers and it's 2-2, what confirms to me that you can't win. The Oilers are so like pesky,
resilient.
It's
crazy how resilient they are.
Yep. So the Panthers can win. I'm saving the one, but I'm telling you, I've seen 14 million universes, and the Panthers only win this series still in one of them.
Yeah, I again, I'm not telling you to hit the panic button if you're the Panthers, but I will say, based on these playoffs, what it feels like right now is that the Oilers will never lose again. That's what it feels like right now. Again, based on the 3 previous series.
Mm-hmm. And
it feels like this was the game where they were like this, whoops, like got into it, got into a good rhythm.
Remember when Laz said, and I don't know if everybody saw Morning Cup of Hockey yesterday, but when Laz was like, the Oilers are actually going to have more pressure 2-2. I will give him, because I agreed with him, and I agreed with him then, I agree with him now, I'll agree with him my whole life. I will give him if the Oilers lose game 5, it feels a lot like the Toronto series, Red, and Toronto won that game 6, but it feels a lot like if the Oilers lose game 5, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
After all of that, now we're just going to go back to Florida and lose. Whereas the Panthers can lose game 5 and go, well, we got to fucking win game 6.
Go
and then
home
it's
and
just
take care of business. Yeah.
So it is going to be a gnarly game for both teams stressed, but it's going to be a gnarly game for Edmonton where you're like, you can't come this far to only come this far. But man, I'm so with you where they go, dude, the belief, because dude, buddy, the Panthers are so like justifiably, but they're so cocky still. They're like, we're fine, dude. Like we keep puking these games up, but it doesn't matter. And I'm like, dude, you puke 4 of them up though, you lose the cup. That's how this works.
You gotta stop puking.
Dude, you puke 4 times, you lose.
Dramamine. Like you've got to stop puking.
So I'm like, dude, careful. But I think the Oilers' belief is right there with them now because they go, we can't die, dude. We're young and we alive.
Yeah.
We're never gonna die. That's how they feel right now. Maybe the last thing I'll say, and I know some people don't believe in this bullshit, but if you are, I might even set up for this, dude.
Thank God.
Look at me in the eye. If you are the Florida Panthers organization and you are 0-7 when you have brought a Dolphins player to bang the drum before the game, and you bring out Jason Taylor, the Dolphin, to bang this drum and then lose, are you insane?
Truly?
Like, I know it's like, who cares?
No, I care. and it's also one of these things. Like, you want to say who cares? I don't give a baker's fuck who bangs the drum at your game. Can teams stop doing this bullshit nonsense? No one gives a flying fuck who bangs the drum, who fucking cranks the horn.
Going.
Like, shut the fuck up. Stop doing these things that are jinxing your team and get that putrid loser franchise,
dude,
out of your fucking barn. It is actually the stupidest shit I've ever seen that they keep going, you know who we should get? Like, when there are idiots on the internet like us talking about this, like, what are you doing? What are you allowing Taylor Swift into your fucking arena for? Like, I would literally ban her. I'd be like, get out of here, dude. Like, what are we doing here? Like, get Dolphins players away from your team fast as possible.
The Taylor Swift one, I agree with, but it would be hard. It would be hard to literally be like, you can't come in.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Could you imagine if the Swifties found out that you banned her from the arena?
Dude, the Panthers would fold. The franchise would fold if they got the Swifties on them. And I gotta say, pal, too, the fucking security. Like, we were just popping in the elevators and shit. It was actually if you even accidentally hit the floor that Taylor Swift was on last night, the elevator girl was like, where do you think you're going? I was like,
being in that suite with her was like I've never seen more people like frozen and stand. I was like, this is awful. Like, is anyone enjoying watching this game?
Dude, so the Red checked in with Yager yesterday, and they put him on the Jumbotron. But I was like, oh, shit, sharp action. Now we know the scoop. Yager's going to bang the drum tonight with his 20-year-old girlfriend. Shout out to him. That's sick because he's banging her tonight, too.
Oh, God.
But, dude, we
gotta end this.
The audacity to bring a Dolphin.
Oh,
I actually am like, someone should be fired for that. I'm dead serious.
Oh, I agree.
I would bring in, and you know what, dude? For the next fucking game, I would bring in a New England Patriot. I'd be like, whatever is the most anti-Dolphin thing you can do to bang the drum at game 6, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Like, let fucking Red do it before you let a Dolphin bang the fucking drum when you have only lost. And then you go, not this time. That we don't believe in that stuff. Absolutely. That's one of the most mind-blowing decisions I've ever seen.
Taking a quick break to talk to you guys about BetMGM and the epic promotions they have going all year long, but especially during the Stanley Cup Finals, where we are dialed into right now. My favorite one is the hat trick jackpot. All you have to do is bet on an anytime goal scorer. And if that person scores a goal, you win money, and that's sick. And if they don't score a goal and you sign up for BetMGM and you use promo code NETTERS at sign up, you can get $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. And then if they score a hat trick, you activate the hat trick jackpot where you get your share of 10 G's in bonus bets. It's an unbelievable deal. They've got second NHL second chances back too. So if you bet on first goal scorer, but that person scores second, you get your stake back in cash. You are missing out on an odds boost. There's so much incredible action cooking right now with BetMGM. It's an absolute no-brainer. I need you to get involved. So again, download the BetMGM app. Use promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS when you sign up. And all of those amazing things that I just talked about can happen to you, just like they're happening to me, just like they're happening to DP. So please join us for the fun and sign up with BetMGM right now. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only, subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Now I got to talk to you guys about our new partnership with Long Drink. Long Drink comes from Finland, and this is a true story. It was invented during the 1952 Summer Games because Finland hosted, and they were like, how are we going to get all these fans drinks fast enough, quick enough, in a delicious enough manner? And that's how Long Drink was born. And now it's finally over in America. There's Miles Teller, Kygo, Ricky Fowler, Tuukka. The list of investors is on, and it's such an awesome thing because it's a citrus soda that has real liquor in it. It's not like some of these other seltzers with fermented sugar and things like that. No, this is crisp. It's so refreshing. It's gluten-free. It's all natural, and they're amazing. Okay, I've been pounding them. We're here on the road. We were at the Bauer event in Boston last Tuesday, whenever that was, and they got long drinks at the open bar. Ka-ching, 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 all night. They got every kind of variety. I was loving them, okay? And what my favorite part about it is it makes you feel amazing, right? You don't have that super full feeling after I've chugged a billion beers, you know? This is just like the perfect real liquor seltzer that's just delicious and crisp. It's got award-winning liquor. We've got a zero sugar option. It's unbelievable. Okay, so what I want you to do is go to thelongdrink.com/almostfriday and check out everything they got cooking over there. I know you're going to love them just as much as we do. They're amazing for the hockey playoffs. They're amazing for a summer day on the beach. They're amazing all the time. So go to thelongdrink.com/almostfriday right now.
There's no need for an intro.
Correct.
LT ripped in day of game.
Yep.
Like a legend, straight from Boston.
To the best city
Did
in
you
the
fly
country.
from Boston?
No, I went home for a quick trip home and then had to
He had to
get
pick up.
some new
He had
clothes.
to get this shirt.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got
He was
my
coming to
shirt.
Lauderdale without that
Perfect
shirt.
South Florida shirt, by the way. It's great to have you here, dude. I'm so you know what? That was a classic. So we were all at the Bauer event in Boston. We're all having a few pops, enjoying ourselves, and we were like, dude, you should come to Florida for the game. And it's a classic night of like, yeah, that's a plan, and then no one does it, and then here you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an easy flight from DC. So I woke up in the morning. I was like, I could do it if it wasn't just small talk. But yeah, now I'm here. So
we are.
Happy to be here. It's
Amazing.
a great spot.
Tell everyone about the Bauer event for a bit. It was pretty cool. You
Yeah,
were there.
true.
You were there Monday.
Yeah, so I was
Monday,
there for 2 days. Obviously, it's their vapor launch week or a couple days, and I got to show off my line at the SV Pro line as well a little bit. So overall, it was a fun event. A lot of good players were there, a lot of good content creators, and yeah, it was just overall a lot of fun.
Dude, I gotta say, my favorite part is we're here, and it's like, you know, they got about Bauer, just Bauer hockey. They got a lot of big athletes, and we get there, and we're like, LT, your line's sick and everything, and he's like, dude. So I just found out that my line of Bauer gear is the affordable gear.
Yeah,
it's for the common
For
man.
the everyday man.
I will say I love Bauer. I really appreciate
They're the
Bauer.
best.
Always going to be my gear company, but it's like you can't afford, Ottinger and Joseph Wall.
Just get
Ford
the
LT.
Logan Thompson.
Did you get the LT?
And the best part was you just giving it to the Bauer guys. They were like, "Yeah, sorry, you're right." Shit, sorry.
That is
No,
so
that was
good.
beautiful. I mean,
So
it's, I'll tell you what, though, it's better than the empty netters line. That is like, you get the empty netters line at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yep.
Okay. No, that makes
So
me
you're
feel
doing
better.
way better than us.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But yeah, super cool event. We got to go to the second night at Level for the party. And then I think Wednesday was a rip. Like we all had to leave, but they did like a creator game and all kinds of cool shit. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
I think
it was awesome.
Wednesday was more for the content creator guys. I know
Yeah.
Hughes and Kane were there as well.
Yeah.
I think Fowler for the goalies. But yeah, it looked like overall a good, successful event, and it was my first time being there, and yeah, I think we had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a miracle. Bauer doesn't even know this, but it is a miracle that I didn't just sit in the golf simulator the whole time. Like I got there and they were like, "Hey, take some pics, mingle," and I was like, "Okay." And I saw the simulator and I was like, "Oh."
I felt that way about the bowling alley. I was like, "You guys, they put us in a building with all the distractions in the world and expected us to work." And I was like, "What do you want from me here? This
is that
insane.
normally in that rink?"
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that there was a bowling alley or simulator.
We didn't get much past the bar, to be honest.
Yeah,
we kind of stayed
we had
around
a little
that
area. So yeah.
The food was right there. The DJ was right there. Didn't have to go.
I got too caught up promoting my gear. So yeah,
dude, you're doing your job.
Yeah,
That's very
exactly.
true. You were doing your job. You're doing your job. Okay, but then we rip back. We all rip back here for the playoffs.
Yeah, and here we are at the final. Florida up 2-1. We're about to head into the game. Dude, how do you... So, like, you guys go down to Carolina. Great team. Different team this year. What is it about this Florida team from your eyes that's like, I feel like we looked at... You guys were so good all year. Carolina's so good all year. You guys fall to Carolina, and then Florida just handles them. Like, how does this team keep doing this to such great opponents?
I think it's Florida's depth. I mean, they're just such a deep team this year. I think Marchand was such a huge pickup at the deadline. I think a lot of teams were probably in on him. And yeah, credit to them for getting them. And Seth Jones also has made such a difference on their back end.
Call.
And then you arguably have probably the best playoff goalie in the last couple of years in net, right? Yep. So it's impressive to watch, but they got just 4 deep lines, and I think Marchand's been such a game changer for this series for him, and I mean it's huge for him.
Dude, you had said to me the other night at Bauer that when you're playing Carolina, you guys are playing Carolina, the way they skate, you guys were coming to the bench like, I can't breathe, dude. It's just smothering. How crazy is it to think about how well Florida and the Oilers, frankly, must skate, considering that's what Carolina looked like, honestly, in that next round.
Yeah, credit to Carolina. I mean, when we played them, the first 2 games were really tight. They could have gone kind of either way.
Totally.
And then, go to Carolina. It's such a hard rink to play in as well. And yeah, they really took away our time and space with everything. And, I thought it was going to be a different series than how when they played Florida. And then to see what Florida did to them was really impressive. And, you got to tip your hat to Florida. And then going down 1-0 to Edmonton's not easy, but winning the second game at home and then the last game that Florida played, they really controlled from looks the whole game.
Yeah,
so
oh my God,
they're just such a heavy, fast, skilled team. They kind of have a little bit of everything.
Yep.
And I think that goes a long way.
Do you watch after you guys get knocked out? Do you watch playoffs still, or are you like, I'm good?
No, I mean, I took a little time off, a little salty. I didn't want to watch Carolina, but
that's so fair.
Yeah, just because they beat us. But no, you definitely want to turn it back on. I went home for a little bit, and you go to a little bar in Calgary, and it's a huge Edmonton Oilers bar. So sit there and watch that series with Dallas, and yeah, you kind of get back into it. Obviously, you miss playing, and it's just fun being around hockey still. Where
do your rooting interests lie? Not saying you're like, I'm rooting hard for a team, but just like when you get knocked out, when you're in the league, you get knocked out. Obviously, I imagine you're like, well, I hope Carolina doesn't win. But or are you the guy that's like, I hope they do win because then we lost to the champs? Or how do you kind of filter it out the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm always a Washington Capitals fan, but I think growing up in Calgary, it's really hard for me to cheer for Edmonton.
I bet.
I think my loyalty lies in Calgary with that city, so I think that's kind of where I think I'll just leave it at that. It's hard to cheer for Edmonton just being born and raised in Calgary.
I've actually been really surprised, and I know it's the Canadian drought factor, but how many fan bases from Canada have been like, yeah, we're go Oilers. And I'm like, go Oilers? Aren't you a Canucks fan? But they're like, whatever, dude. So it's kind of a fine line there.
I'm getting half and half on that. Like a lot of like wherever they are in Canada who are like, fuck the Canadian drought, don't care. I don't want to see Edmonton win. And I think that's how I would be. Like I'm like, if you're not, if I'm not a part of your fan base, I don't want you to, I don't care where you're from. Like, get out of here. It's like there's also guys on other teams that are probably from where they're from.
Right.
It's like, I'd rather root for that,
Absolutely.
I don't know how that works.
I wanted to ask you this, as a guy who's played against McDavid many times. How we hear this all the time right now during the finals. McDavid's got to just go win this game. He's got to go do it. He needs this cup. How, for the fans, how hard is it for one dude to just go win a game in the NHL? As good as he is, I imagine it's such a team sport. That's not a thing that can just happen whenever he feels like it.
No, absolutely. I mean, you always say McDavid's got to do all the work tonight, right? And it's easier said than done, but I mean, there's one player in the world that can steal you a game, it's Connor McDavid. Let's be honest.
It's actually insane when you think about it like that.
Like it's really hard to do, but he can do it. Right? So you got to tip your hat to him as well.
And when he's on the ice, because sometimes I'm like, he makes that backdoor pass to Draisaitl and he hammers in the one-timer. And I know it's a no-look pass, but I'm kind of sitting there being like, Bob, you know, it's cheat, dude. You know it's going. But how hard is it to just like when he's on the ice, your attention just must be there all the time as the goalie?
It's almost like he sees the game, or he kind of plays the game at such a slower level, or he sees it so much slower than all of us. Like he'll come down, on me or a goalie net, and you think, oh, like I'm going to read you, I got you beat, and he'll pull something out, and you're like, I didn't even know that was possible. Or, you can't cheat on him either because, if he's going to look up and see or give him net, he's going to take it. Yeah. You also know you got Draisaitl on the back door, right? It's kind of like the Ovi thing. Ovi's there cocked for a one-timer, but they still find ways to get the puck over, and it goes in.
Dude, such a good comp, actually, because especially down the stretch when he was chasing the record, I wanted him to do it, but I'm looking there being like, it's going right there, but it's still hard, right? Because that's how special those guys are.
Yeah, like especially with Ovi, right? Where he shoots the puck, where his spot is, and he's doing it for 20 years, but he still gets the puck off from there, and he's still making goalies look bad at 40. So it's 39. So it's really impressive. So,
and then what do you think about, and obviously it's impossible to say, but going through Stu Skinner's head tonight, going into this game, just got pulled, but haven't had a great haven't had a great final. Not horrible, because I think the game 1 and 2 are tight both ways, but giving up a lot of goals, but you just got to reset game 4. How do you, what's going through his head? How do you feel?
I mean, I've known Stu. I grew up playing against him my whole life. He's a Edmonton boy, but he's pretty mentally sound. I think he's very calm. I don't think he has a lot of panic to his game.
Yeah.
And he's proven everyone wrong. Like everyone's kind of counting out the first round, and then he comes back with 3 shutouts or 2 shutouts.
So epic.
It's just, I think he'll rebound well. I think he's done it before, and I don't think he's worried. I think it's playoffs. It's a long series. You're only down 2-1. You go out tonight and you win the game, and it's a 0-0 series, right?
With 2 in Edmonton.
Exactly.
Like, holy shit.
So I think Stu's probably thinking that too, and I think he's just, he's going to come in tonight, and I think we'll see a different goalie than game 3.
So crazy, dude, because you're completely right. He could snap off 2 straight shutouts, and then the Oilers win the cup, and I'm like, Stu's the man.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what everyone does, right?
Yeah,
so I mean,
nuts.
it's tough because he gets a lot of heat, and you feel bad. But then you also respect that he can play through that, and at the same time, like back-to-back shutouts, shutting everyone up. Like that LA series, it wasn't great. It also wasn't his fault. Like, I think it's easy to blame the goalies, but for him to come in, after Picard got injured and win them that series is, you got to tip your hat as another goalie. Like that's not easy to do, and he does it all the time.
My God, dude, he came in. The fact that there's even a conversation, I think they've announced they're starting to do, but the fact that there's even a conversation it speaks to how well Calvin played, right?
No, again, he came in, and again, wasn't an easy situation for him to come in and against LA. And I mean, I thought LA was such a good team this year as well.
Same, dude.
I think everyone had them going far. Like. There were so many good teams in general. This
the West especially. I was like, holy fuck!
I mean, Vegas, Dallas, Edmonton, LA, like any one of those teams.
Colorado,
Colorado. Like any one of those teams, you could have seen go to the final.
Yeah.
So.
And then, what do you think about? Because I was laughing to myself because they got in Edmonton at Rogers, they got the Sergey signs, and it's like Sergey, like they're just raining down on Bob.
Yeah.
But everybody and the Panthers organization is like, Bob's, doesn't even speak. Like he's in his own head. It's so fine. He keeps things very quiet in there. Do you love that as a goalie, especially on the road? Are you like, this is sick? Like, kill it, Cleveland, let me hear it. Or do you I hate this, please?
It's 50-50. Yeah. So in Montreal, the first game, I'm like, this is cool. And it was like 0-0 after 1. I'm like, whatever, or 1-1, I forgot the score. I'm like, this is cool. Like, they're shouting my name. Then you go down 3-4 goals, and you're like, all right.
You're like, this is terrible.
This sucks.
Get out of here.
Yeah, now you're kind of I'm getting in my own head, right?
Yep.
Like,
guys, sorry, quick kilo of blow delivery that I just had to pick up
so
here.
Sick.
Bad timing.
But so it eventually it kind of bothers you, right?
Yeah, eventually, like, how can you not? Montreal was probably the loudest rink that I've ever played in, like just from fans alone, and
that's sick.
Credit to them. That's a great fan base.
Oh my God,
their fans were all over me, and it was funny. It sucks getting torch game 3, but you just gotta hopefully reset for game 4. But they were loud game 4 too. They were on me, but it's all fun. And it's part of sports, so you respect
Oh my God. And dude, especially your position. Like that next game, obviously everybody's doing that, all the players, coaches, even Paul Maurice was like, tonight starts at 0-0. Like, doesn't matter what happened last game. But the goalie position especially is just like, okay, memory of a goal.
Forgive me if you got into this. The play against Montreal where you got banged up a little bit. Did we talk?
No.
Did you ask about that? Can you tell us what happened there? Because, dude, from watching, I was in a bar in New York watching that game. And like we texted you immediately, and I was looking, and I reacted like a.
It looked so bad.
Like I was literally sitting at a bar with Alice, and I was like, it happened. I was like, oh no, and I was like all nervous. It looked like your knee got torn in 1,000 different places.
Yeah, I think everyone thought initially it was my knee, but obviously with NHL rules, there's the spotters nowadays, and I think they realized that I took the cross check pretty hard to the head, so I had to, with the rules, leave the game. And I think my trainers were worried that it was my knee, so they were like, "Don't put any weight on your knee." But it ended up just being fine, and just had to do a concussion test.
Yeah. Good.
All was well. Yeah. So
like the collective Caps fan base in that moment was like, motherfucker, dude. That was terrifying.
It is nuts because we've seen a few goalie injuries this playoffs.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Like that can just change your whole season. Like
it was scary at the time, but I know game 4, like I was obviously playing, and so I walked to Starbucks to get a coffee, and then I'm like, oh, I'll walk to the rink. It's a nice day, and end up walking through all these like pregame parties of Montreal fans and just getting hounded a little bit. And I was a little nervous, but no, it was definitely nervous going into game 4. I knew that rink was probably going to be a little bit more all over me. So
yeah,
it's so
dude.
sick.
Speaking of the goalie contact stuff, how much does it ring your bell when you take a shot off the dome?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, the dome, the headshots, depending on where you take it, sometimes they can sting or like, ring your ear. Sometimes it's nothing. For me, like I think game 3 or game 4, I threw a dangler on because I think Montreal was just shooting them kind of at the collarbone neck area. And I have a lot of exposure up there when I don't have one on. I just did it strictly for style. I think it looks better when goalies don't wear danglers. But I think I took like 2 or 3 in that game off like the collar and the throat. And I was like, all right, like those suck. Yeah.
You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I get it. So I threw it on for game 4. But yeah, it kind of depends on where it hits you in the head.
Dude, what was who did the mask thing?
It's Stolarz, dude.
Dude,
like
did you see this?
It was the.
We found a picture.
It was against Florida. It's like Stoli wears his mask hanging off his head.
He took a shot from Sam Reinhart off the head. Then
that like blew up his mask.
Okay,
it knocked his mask.
Is that
off.
when then he kind of got
then
bumped
he got
into,
clipped
and then
by Bennett, and he went and didn't play again.
Yeah,
and everybody was like, Bennett, Sam Bennett concussed him, and everybody else was like, I think Sam Reinhart's shot concussed him.
Yeah, it's tough to see or say in that situation. Obviously, like no one really likes to mess around with head injuries anymore, right?
Of course.
So it's tough to say if it was a little bump to the head or it was the shot. Anything can. If you're feeling off as a goalie, and the biggest thing for me when my head, I remember I took some time off at the end of this year. It's my eyes. Your eyes, your tracking feels so behind, and you almost feel heavy and you're like sleepy. So that's how I personally felt, and I knew that I couldn't keep playing. Through this, head injury, so I had to take time off. So
smart.
Yeah. So if something happened where Stoli wasn't feeling 100%, I think he made the right decision to play it safe. And obviously they have 2 good goalie options in Toronto as well, right?
For luxury. But this is what I wanted to ask. I found a pic because we were asking goalie friends about it, and they were like, Stoli doesn't clip his mask very tight. Like you can see how loose it is. Yeah. And then they showed a pic of Joe Wall's mask, and it's like, that strap is like super tight.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, he thinks it looks cooler like this.
Is that what he says?
That's what we were told by guys in the league.
Oh,
I don't know.
Allegedly. I've never heard that. I like my mask really tight. Like,
I would. I feel like I would too. Like,
but every goalie's got their own thing.
With a shot, when it's that loose, it makes it worse because it's like,
it can move around, it can pop off easier. So everyone's got their thing. But I like mine tight.
Yeah. Going back to this final. You've been in a few runs in a row here in the playoffs. I feel like we always talk about, playoffs are a different beast. It's a totally different game. Where is your mindset on, these 2 teams both back in the final, Florida, 3 finals in a row? Is it genuinely like a full another season? And are you just like in the playoffs being like, Jesus Christ, man, like this is so much hockey?
It's almost like it's a way harder. I wouldn't say it's another season, but like, I remember after the first series, you're like, that was a grind. Like everything is so much more ramped. Practice, you're trying that much harder. Like games, you're just more dialed in. You're, maybe on the road, you go somewhere, you grab a couple beers with the guys the night before, like it's the attention to detail, the focus, the no distractions, the not messing around is just so much more amplified.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it's mentally straining for sure. Like I couldn't imagine what back-to-back cup finals with these two teams, like they got to be, they're grinding. It's not easy to do.
For sure. I think about Florida,
Bro.
and I'm like, win or lose. Let's say they win. Like I could see them being like, okay,
Yeah.
I need a fucking break here. Like it's insane thinking about how much hockey these teams have played.
Because you get no break, dude. Like literally, they play till July, and then camps September or whatever.
Yeah, what are we? Yeah, June 12th.
It's a joke. So yeah, it's absolutely
crazy.
insane, and I give them a lot of credit because I was definitely one when playoffs started was saying that I didn't think Florida had the legs. Finishing third in the Atlantic, I was like, great team. They're tired, and it felt like they were really saving an extra gear.
No, it's absolutely mental, man. I can't get over it. What are you seeing right now? Like as a player and a fan looking at these games, obviously game 3 is so different. But like, is this one of those series where you're like, honestly, it feels like anything could happen, or do you feel like you see an edge one way or the other?
Well, from what I've learned watching Edmonton is you can never count out Connor
Correct.
McDavid. Like,
Correct.
You can't. So you can't be like, oh, they're down 2-1. It's over. No, with Connor McDavid and Draisaitl, like it's never over. Those like last year, right?
Yeah. Like how easily could this game be 4-0 Edmonton?
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, okay, we're right back in it. Yeah.
And game 1, I thought Edmonton looked really good. Like both games in Edmonton, I thought Edmonton looked very good. And again, tip your hat to Bobrovsky. I thought he was outstanding as well. Like, he's been elite this series. And again, it's what he's known for, right? I think as long as they make playoffs, you're going to get playoff Bobrovsky, and I think he's been outstanding as well. So Florida, I think, in my opinion, obviously I'm not an expert. I know I'll probably take heat, but I think they're the deeper team, just 4 lines deeper.
Yeah,
and
I don't even understand how an Edmonton fan could argue that.
I know.
It's not discrediting their depth. It's just saying when Brad Marchand and Anton Lundell and Luosterainen are your third line. Like, how do you argue?
Outrageous.
That's a deeper team.
And again, that's not a knock at Edmonton.
No,
Edmonton has the 2 best players in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's just, but again, it's hard to kind of get a feeling. I think we'll find out tonight, obviously, at the game. But I mean, you can't count out Edmonton. With those 2 guys.
It's
true.
I said this the other night. The Panthers fans were really like cocky after game 3. Like they were like, "We did it," and I was like, "You better calm down, pal."
Because this is the wrong team.
Couple
to
scary
do
guys on the other
remember
side.
after game 3 last year, guys?
Yeah. So but even tonight, dude, because I was saying the same thing. I was like, "We'll find out tonight. If the Panthers win tonight, it's over." But even then, I'm like, actually, maybe not, because the Oilers can take 2 at home. Just going to steal that game 6. So I think it'll be a tilt. If you had to pick, who wins how many games?
Like who wins?
Yeah.
Well, again, I think.
I can't tell you how many times we've been asked this in the last 3 days, and I have that exact same reaction. I'm like, I don't want to say. Like, I don't know.
I just also don't want people mad at me.
Bro, keep in mind,
welcome to my life.
I publicly on the pod picked Oilers in 5, so I'm rinsed already, and I'm getting killed.
Yeah,
for
you're
it,
public enemy number 1
so-
right now in Florida.
I think Florida rolls with the momentum. I think that it's not going to be a blowout. I think they win tonight. I think Edmonton goes back and home and takes care of business, and then I think from there anything can happen.
Oh,
that is in my
okay.
opinion.
That's literally exactly what I said this morning. I said Edmonton wins game 5 no matter what happens tonight, but I do feel like Florida has so much momentum right now on home ice. It feels like it would be uncharacteristic of them to not take this opportunity.
Oshie's been dead on. He literally texted us before the series. He said Edmonton wins game 1 at home, drops game 2. Florida wins game 3 at home, drops game 4, but then Florida wins game 5 in Edmonton and then finishes it at game 6.
It would be wild.
I say, Osh has been around longer than I have.
He's been around the block, dude. He's been around the block.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
How pissed off are you at him for not just making it 1 game to play together?
What
a selfish asshole.
I mean, it sucks not being able to play with him because, I mean, just being around this year, like how much presence, he had around that room.
Totally.
And the way that the team, the management, the staff, like everyone just spoke so highly of him and how good of a person he is on and off the ice. It would have been really cool to play with him to see that. I think, all the guys in the dressing room definitely that played with him before would always say how much they miss having him around.
For sure.
So I definitely got the chance, or I got the chance to meet him when he was around a little bit, and he was nothing but a great teammate to me, but I wish I got a year to play with him for sure.
Would have been awesome.
Okay, last thing, if you can say, tell us about the night OV broke the record.
Oh, yeah.
I actually saw it. It sucks. Like I was at home. I was sick. So I was injured, and then I had a really bad flu. So
I knew you weren't playing.
Yeah,
but
I couldn't be there. They actually flew back that night, and they had a good time that night.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to make the trip. I was really sick.
How sick are we talking about, dude?
Like,
he broke the all-time goal scorer.
like enough where I couldn't leave my house, as well as some of the guys were worried about their wives are pregnant, so it was also a chance of me not being around everyone and getting people
Damn,
sick.
Jesus, what'd you have, dude?
Yeah, it was bad.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It was coming out of both ends. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, God. Like, what happened in a red all trip, dude?
Well, after the shift you put in Boston.
yeah, exactly. What do you expect?
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, my God.
But that must have been sick, dude. Just kind of that whole chase down the stretch and having it, being able to celebrate as a team with all that accomplishment.
It was cool to see. Like, I remember when I got traded here, it was obviously a discussion. Everyone said the same thing. I don't know. He's getting older, right? And
especially because after last year, he was like a little slow. I was like, oh, yeah.
But then he started off the year hot, and we're like, oh, holy shit, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And then I remember in Utah when we beat them, but that's when he broke his leg.
Yeah, fuck.
The feeling in the
Isn't
room.
that funny to say out loud?
Yeah.
We're like this. Remember when he broke his leg this year?
Yeah.
And then
he
still did it?
And he got, we was a back-to-back. We were in Vegas, and he got a hat trick in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then we go to Utah, and he put up 2 goals already in Utah. We're like, holy shit, like he might have back-to-back hat tricks. This guy's hot.
Yeah.
And then he broke his leg. It was an accident. Like I think it was a hate.
Yeah, fuck.
And he didn't mean to do it. It wasn't
it's a tangle up.
Yeah,
for sure.
it wasn't a dirty play by any means. But we won that game, and the feeling in the room, like it almost felt like we just lost. Our season was over. It was so depleting. Like,
that's cool, though.
I think it shows how much he means to that dressing room and the guys. Like,
sure.
And how happy everyone was for him that he was playing so well. So when he lost or when he broke his leg, we were all really worried that it wasn't going to happen this year, and we didn't know if he'd come back.
Dude, do you
hold
think,
on?
Yeah.
When he came back, like the first day you saw him skating after the broken
Which was
leg,
like 2 days later.
Were you like, what the fuck is going on here?
He's a machine. Like, he's just built different. Yeah, like I mean,
He's literally built different.
Like his leg was
it's
broken.
Russian engineering.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
He wasn't skating hard, but the fact that he was out there still on his skates, moving around, you're just like you can't make that up.
He was literally on skates in full equipment 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah, correct.
And I was like, is your leg broken? And he was like, yeah, it is.
Dude, not that I'm saying you're making excuses, but do you think, I remember because we're, from New England watching the Patriots that year, they went undefeated and then lost. I remember a lot of those guys gave interviews after of just being like, God, there was a lot of pressure, like external factors.
Yeah.
When after or I guess my question is, did the chase at all kind of like once it was done, were you guys almost like exhausted by it by the time playoffs were starting, or was it just not like that at all?
No, I don't think so at all. I think as always people would talk about it, and I think if anything, it was maybe you never wanted to bring it up with O and distract him.
Sure,
because obviously everyone's talking about it. You don't want to distract him. But I think we were almost happy that he got it, and we're like, okay, now let's just get back to work and play.
Right.
I don't think we weren't tired by any means, and I think with he just loves playing hockey.
Yeah,
so I think it doesn't matter if it was the goal record or he still had 20 goals to do next year. Like that guy just comes to the rink and puts a smile on his face and just plays hard.
Did he pre-plan the seal slide?
I don't know. I gotta ask him that one.
We gotta find out.
I never knew that.
LT was shitting his brains out, dude.
Yeah. You didn't. God, that was so good, dude.
It was such a good slide.
What a perfect
too. I was like, oh my
I saw that. I got to see that quickly. Yeah.
So sick. Hey, we hammered like early in the season when he was hot, pre-broken leg, that it would get broken this year on a power play goal.
Yeah.
And that cash.
Yeah.
Good action. Good action.
Nice.
It's weird. You'd almost feel it coming when you watch the game. Like
Yeah.
kind of the puck went over to his side, and I think you watch the bench. Everyone just stood up instantly. Like, this is it. Yeah.
Fuck, that was sick.
All right, boys, let's go rip a day in South Florida
Elbow room.
and head to Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Amazing.
As we close out this ep, do we want to touch on any of the awards nonsense? Do we want to touch on any of the?
Oh, dude, I actually do really quickly.
All right, let's quickly do this. Not breaking news. Rumor boys here. Little whispers. Couple of contracts. Looks like Trent Frederick is going to be staying in Edmonton.
Yep,
and
good for him.
Looks like it's going to be a good contract with some term. Love that for him. And then all signs are pointing to Sam Bennett, 8 years staying in Florida. So Florida
also
fans,
good for him.
If you need something to be happy about right now, I think you're going to get that news pretty soon. Sam Bennett's not going anywhere, is what it sounds like. We also got the Hart results.
Yes.
And Connor Hellebuck has won the MVP of the NHL, first goaltending Hart winner since Carey Price. And the voting came out, and dude, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. This is not Connor Hellebuyck hate, but I have no idea how you give Connor Hellebuyck MVP.
Yep.
I really don't get it.
Oh, I think it's a tragedy.
And then the voting, dude, like, there needs to be a process of who gets votes. And you need to lose your right to vote. Like, when we see these
Caden just said 5 people voted Hellebuyck 5th, 8 people voted Draisaitl 5th. Who the hell are these 13 voters? Continue.
Yeah. Like, you need to lose your right to vote straight up. Like, I believe that when you have 3 players, 3 with more first place votes than Nikita Kucherov, like the anti-Russian bias and like anti-Kuch attitude bias is actually wild.
Yep.
Like, he probably should have won last year.
Kucherov has been literally robbed of 2 straight MVPs.
It's actually kind of insane to me. Like, and like, if you're telling me it's not anti-Russian bias, you're lying. And let's not get political.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, like, when I'm saying let's not get political, let's stop bringing politics into hockey. Like, Kuch is just a player, and the voting is mental. But then the big one, find the guy's name, because I'd like to call him out. There was a first place vote for one Nick Suzuki.
My phone's dead. I can't find it. I'm dead. My phone's dead.
Nick Suzuki.
Dude, Nick Suzuki got a first place MVP vote. And I love Nick Suzuki. He's a great player. A first place MVP vote. Dude,
I'm trying to find it right now.
It was like Derek something. But somebody too said, Leighton said, boys, my $5 Cooch bet. Leighton, don't even get me started, pal. Yeah, me and Dan and our boy Josh had big money. I wasn't even talking about it on the pod, really. I didn't want to jinx it. We had big money early on Cooch at insane odds. And I was gonna move to Barbados, dude, if Cooch won MVP. So you guys are probably lucky that he didn't win, because I wouldn't have been doing this pod. I'd be in Aruba.
Dylan Laux.
He's
a wild reporter for the Hockey News.
And Dan, read his whole ballot, by the way. You get, to be clear, everybody, you get 5 votes. You get to order 5 picks for MVP. Read what Dylan voted.
Dude, I almost just read out his Lady Bing.
Oh, that would have been gold.
Like, I just looked at it really quick because it says number 1 Nick Suzuki.
Oh, he put Suzuki first for everything.
And at 5, he has Frederick Gaudreau.
Norris, Nick Suzuki.
What?
He loves him.
His voting for the Hart Trophy went 1, Nick Suzuki, 2, Leon Draisaitl, 3, Nikita Kucherov, 4, Jack Eichel, 5, Nico Hischier.
Hellebuyck not named.
Dylan Laux, dude, wild card.
The landslide MVP winner, which I don't agree with, but the landslide MVP winner not named, Nick Suzuki first.
Yeah, we got someone in here. President's Trophy on the back of the best goalie season since Price. I'm confused why you guys are so against it. I'm against it because it wasn't better than Linus Ullmark.
Look up, who was that? JT.
Well, like, I'm not talking shit. It's just
look up Linus Ullmark's stats 2 years ago.
Awesome. Yeah, give him the Vezina. Like,
above 2 goals against.
And you know what? You know what cracks me up, dude? There's this one.
Caden says Suzuki was robbed of the Vezina.
Suzuki was robbed of the Vezina and the Norris. There's one Jets fan who like comes at us on Twitter whenever we like. He's like, you never give the Jets enough attention.
I'm a Rocket man. I love the Jets.
Someone was like, dude, Cooch fucking disappears in the playoffs. Loser. Can't give him the heart. And I'm like, excuse me?
Connor Hellebuyck gave up 1,000 goals to the Blues.
On top of that, this same guy, he goes like this. Dude, Cooch fucking disappears in the playoffs and his team loses in 5 in the first round. And I'm like, you're proving why he's the MVP.
Yeah, right.
Like, if he disappears, the team loses immediately.
Yep.
It's absolutely crazy.
That was insane, Dan. And
I'm being bitter.
What's all right?
I was gonna win $10,000 if Cooch won.
God, I was gonna be
That's
so
actually
sick,
where
dude. But that voting is a tragedy, and
It
I
is.
wish, dude, the awards are so crazy. Like, I can't believe it. They're just like tweeting out. They're like, anyway, this guy won Selke. We gave him the trophy. Well, you know what he was looking. I don't even know what the awards are going to be this year. The
Well,
award show.
I actually don't mind this. It's that why are we doing an awards ceremony?
Yeah, fair.
Like don't do that. Just do it like this.
Yeah, Leighton, thank you. Olmark, a 189, 938, 189, 46-1, not a finalist for Hart.
No.
And then Hellebuck, I'm guessing here, but it's like 922, I want to say.
Everyone just goes crazy about the games. They're like,
201.
it's the games, but I'm like, I don't care.
Who gives a flying fuck,
Don't
dude?
care. It's just
Dude just won MVP when Kucherov won his second straight Art Ross and is the only time the Lightning score.
and Lindsay. Like
Yeah, and the players, the league is like he's the best player I've ever seen.
it's that's why I'm confused, guys. Like I don't know. To me, is he amazing? Yeah. Was he amazing this year? Yes. But I don't know. I know Jets fans are gonna be like, classic media, not giving us attention, not giving us love.
Dude, he's the locked business. I can't believe anyone voted
Yeah,
for anyone else.
They won the President's Trophy. It's great. But like, again, Olmark just did this and didn't even get talked about. Legitimately, I feel like people went like this. Hellebuck has to win the Hart. And people just started talking about it and it became a narrative and then people voted on it.
It's actually
And I'm like,
crazy that
what the
it
fuck?
is just the writers. Like, it's just people being influenced by like social pressures. Like, isn't that actually insane?
Yeah.
That it's just like dudes who are like, yeah, someone else said Hellebuck to me, so now I have to vote for him. And I'm like, no.
And that is definitely what happened. All right, folks. We got to wrap this up. CP's got to go to bed. That's going to do it for us here at the Empty Netters podcast. Game 4 reactions. We will get this pod up. So don't worry if you missed the live. It's going to have our little chat with Logan Thompson in there. It's going to be beautiful stuff. Holy smokes. Quick turnaround. Game tomorrow. We will be ripping you a live pod again after the game. We'll get back to right after the games, but yeah, with all the travel, leaving the arena, we wanted to do this with you today. So great stuff. Enjoy your Friday. Buy some merch. CP's rocking it.
I got some merch.
Just give a rest, pal. Hit up the shop, guys. EmptyNetters.shop. Get some great stuff. Enjoy your time. We will see you next time, and until we do,